let me tell you where it's at.
Fine.
Stop trying to guess, because yesterday you're like, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here.
I was right one time.
So this curve right here, 2 years ago in October, very much like today, went around on my old KLR, and right there, right when I got through the curve, the bike just went. The back end slid around, and the bike just melted out from under me. Jay was behind me.
And you run over your head.
He dang near run over my head. But it was crazy. It was like the one and only time I've ever wrecked or had a wreck on the street, and it was on a KLR with knobbies in the rain. It was the weirdest thing because I'd already gotten through the curve, and I was just like this, and I didn't feel anything, didn't know anything, and the bike just melted out from under me. The back end broke loose and come around like this. So I'm riding, and then all of a sudden it's like one of those cartoons where the rug gets pulled out of you and you just hang there in the air. That's what I felt like. And then the bike just slid out in front of me, and I went straight down on this elbow and my right knee and just slid face down first, and then I started to turn, and when I turned, I see Jay's front tire coming straight up my head, and his back tire was kicked out like he had it locked up, coming right for my head. And then I just kept spinning, and then I rolled and then popped straight up on my feet. And I remember thinking, as soon as I was falling, I was like, I'm wrecking. Well, this isn't too bad. And then I rolled, and that hurt. That hurt a lot. So Jay knew I was okay because I popped straight up off, you know, from the ground to my feet, and I just I ran to my bike to pick it up. He's like, leave it there, and he like goes and puts his bike up somewhere in the curve where people coming would stop, they would see it, and you know, he just like took charge and like took care of everything, grabbed my bike, picked it up.
Because I'm Jay.
Yeah, he's super Jay. But anyway, I'm over there holding my elbow because, oh my goodness, it hurt like crazy. And it wasn't my bone, it was this flat part. I'll put some pictures in here. But it tweaked the front forks, and my front brake lever was about, I don't know, I had about that much left of it. And that's mainly little cosmetic scuff ups here and there. But all my gear, you know, I had a little hole in my pants. My jacket, you couldn't even tell, because I guess because the road was wet, when I slid, it was just slick. But anyway, it was crazy. It was a wild ride, let me tell you. It was a wild ride. And Jay come running over, and he grabbed me by the head, and he was like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. He goes, what do you want to do? Because my mom was in the area with the trailer and stuff. And I said, well, is it rideable? And he's like, yeah. And so I said, well, I reckon I'll get back on a ride. And we got like just a little ways down the road, and the freaking handlebars were like this compared to the front wheel, and it was freaking me out. So I pulled over. I'm like, we got to switch bikes. I can't take this. You know, and then it starts pouring down. We had a whole hour, another hour to get back to the hotel. We were on our way back from the day's ride anyway, but we had to ride back in the rain for another hour. And I'm just like, oh, are you kidding me? It was crazy. But anyway.
About despaired.
Anyway, Jay, you can tell how you felt about watching your wife go sliding across the asphalt like that.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was all right?
Yeah, I didn't mind.
You didn't? Did you enjoy it?
I don't know what she hit, whether it was a, you know, diesel fuel on the road, oil, or I think she was, I can recall she was right in the middle of the lane or close to it. And, you know, that's where all the stuff drops down. So, anyways, we come around the curve, and I was actually looking right at her back tire when she slid out, and it was like she hit a patch of ice. It just, the back end kicked out, went to the right, and she was sliding, and then I was like, oh, crap. You go ahead and go first. Never mind, I'll go first. It's really hard to stop and steer at the same time. But it freaked me out quite a bit because, you know, right here is where she started to slide, I believe. And are we turning around and going back to it?
Nah.
Okay. And yeah, it just freaked me out real bad, and then almost run over her. But she was standing up at that time, so I knew she was probably pretty much fine. Scared her more than anything, I imagine.
Didn't help my not liking the rain.
Yeah, it's always been tough today. Of course, everybody is. I mean, you can't.
I didn't like the rain before that happened. Now I really don't like riding in it. So after that happened, it really screwed with my head, because I kept going over and over thinking, what did I do? You know, I was convinced that I had done something to cause that, because it was just kind of random. So I get on YouTube and I start searching wreck after wreck after wreck after wreck. And there's very few of those out there. I think I saw one other guy on I think he was on a KLR, and the freaking road was dry when it happened to him, which was really odd. But anyway, I found this one, I think it was a 2015 compilation of wrecks. And it showed these guys going through this water, and it was like 10 or 15 guys, one right after another, did the same thing. I mean, every single fall, every slide, the way the bike went, the way the people slid, it was exactly the same. So
it was almost like they were doing synchronized.
Yeah, it was the wildest thing I ever saw. So that was my conclusion, that it was just a slick spot on the road, and it just happened. I mean, there's no, but it does mess with your head. It does slow you down. But anyway, I digress. It's been 1.5 years now. It wasn't that bad. And when it happened, he kept saying, you probably hit something. But that, I'm telling you guys, it was smooth as butter. I literally didn't even know the bike was out, or was going out from under me, until it flew out from under me. I mean, I never felt a thing. It was just smooth as silk. So I know I didn't hit like a stick, a rock, or anything to kick it out, because I'd have definitely felt that. I feel like a freaking grape in this pink